Hi gang, welcome back to the Honest Latina Ever. Today's topic is all about campaigning. I was very delighted that our President of the United States came to our county, or came to the area in Tampa, not Pinellas, but Tampa Bay area, to campaign for Ron DeSantis. I just think that is just awesome. I was a part of that rally, and it was amazing. I feel like it's so important for people to speak the truth. One of the things that I have a problem with is that when people put out misleading campaign ads about somebody. I'm a person that, like, if you can't say something nice about somebody, don't say anything at all. But, you know, if somebody's not doing a good job, you know, state the facts. If they've screwed up something or they have a record, you know, put that out there to the public. But, you know, if a person has never held position, just simply say it. You know, this person has no experience. But, you know, but don't make demeaning ads that imply racial connotations. So anyway, there's one person that I really think is super. He's a really kind person. I highly endorse him. And I went to his coming out party, and when it comes to character in this county, this guy is right there up next to Jesus. He's just so kind. He's so nice. He's not got a mean bone in his body. And what is just so amazing is that he comes from a very difficult life. I mean, he comes from Haiti, you know, and you know how things are on that island. And even though the parents, you know, like they weren't slouches or anything by any means, but even though some of the wealthier people coming from these countries like lived very modest. And so anyway, he went to the Stetson Law School, and he graduated, and he was the state's attorney that represented women that were domestically abused. That's what the public doesn't know about him. But what people heard about him was a campaign ad by a guy who has a trash company that was trash talking Bernie. And his ads went like this. Bernie Jacques. He lives in an apartment. I mean, seriously, if that is like such a bad thing, then half the people in America like couldn't be in public office. Like, you know, people own condos, people live in apartments because, you know, sometimes it's more economical. Maybe if you're by yourself, you don't want a huge house to take care of. Maybe it's better to have Pedro do your yard. You know, maybe you don't want to deal with any of that crap, okay? So anyway, the next comment was, he held 3 jobs, you know, like really maybe he's a workaholic, maybe he likes working a lot, or maybe, you know, he was trying to advance his career. Did you ever think about that? After being a lawyer, you know, he represented women as a state's attorney, and then maybe he went to private practice. But you know what? This ad really misrepresented Bernie and made him seem like a schlep. Okay, but the schlep is, you know who's the schlep? It's the garbage man, the Guido, who probably like had old money handed to him and, you know, yeah, I'll start a trash company. And, you know, yeah, maybe he had some success in the trash business, but, you know, any freaking Italian from New York City could have a trash company. Okay, that's not something so great. But, you know, Nick, you didn't even run the Republican Party very well. In fact, you know, as the leader of that, I noticed that I don't go to your meetings anymore. And the way he handled things was just very poorly. He wasn't funny. He was kind of a tyrant. Well, he was a tyrant. And, you know, I went back to see after the ad, you know, like if he was still my Facebook friend. He actually wasn't, which was really great because that was like the trash taken out itself. You know, you don't need people like that in your life that are negative like that. But his ad against Bernie, who's just a really super guy, was really uncalled for. I'm sure that if the Republican Party was doing an ad against me, they'd say, they're Boricua. You know, she's Puerto Rican. She is an activist, which is another name for a loser because you don't have an income. You work for free. Okay, and then she was a stay-at-home mom. Again, loser. You know, like you stayed at home to raise your kids. Why didn't you put them in daycare and go to college? Anyway, oh, I volunteered hundreds of hours for the community, basically. Again, loser, you work for free. You know what? I've done more in my life, in my lifetime for the GOP and for my community than most of these people, all these people in Pinellas County put together. I could have made a full-time job out of my community service. And the people of Tillamook County will tell you so. Because I was in that school all the time volunteering. And I was on every fucking committee and on every freaking board. And you know what? It was amazing. And I helped Oregonians for Immigration Reform pass legislation, and I did a lot of grassroots activism. And you know what? I came down here to fucking retire. So if people go, I haven't seen you around, what did you do? I canvassed for 3 people, bitches. I put a 50-hour a week for Jeff Brandes, who won his seat, by the way. Okay? And by the way, I canvassed in the St. Pete area, and I didn't see any of you fat asses from the REPCEC, whatever, out there canvassing with me, because a lot of you guys couldn't keep pace with the Boricua. But you're going to get behind like the Pied Pipers and support Nick DeSegle, a trash man who trash talks people, because that's all you can think about is being racist and trash talking people. You know what? There is no loyalty in our Republican Party when we diss minorities. It's like, you know, you guys, oh yeah, we don't know why the Democrats keep winning. You know, they just get the minority votes because minorities are not important. We don't have minorities in Pinellas County. Well, yes you do, you fucking idiots, and you put them at the back of the bus. You know what? I can't even get a seat. I can't even get a seat at the Bel Air Women's Lunch. It's like, do you sit at this table? No, do you sit at this? Some Reba chick who's the wife of some judge is like relocating me in like the witness relocation program. And if it wasn't for Bernie, my only freaking friend at that meeting, I wouldn't even go to those fucking luncheons, okay? So I'm doing this video because I have to get something off my chest, and it's this whole bigoted thing about bigotry, because it's like, oh, there's no Hispanics in Pinellas County. Oh, well, one day, bitches, there will be. And you know, your little white people, like little preppy person that comes from a preppy home, will get their asses voted out of office, or we'll have a Democrat in the seat until you guys can come around and figure out why you're offending the fucking minorities by placing ads about a black guy that lives in a fucking apartment that has 3 jobs. You know what? He's a black guy. The fact that he even has 1 job is really great. So you know what? Why don't we get off our bigotry high horses and just like tell it like it is? Because you know what? I was offended. And a lot of people probably didn't see anything wrong with that, and they're still marching behind Nick, and they're like, oh yeah, and he supports Mr. Trump. And I'm like, praying to God Mr. Trump sees through that bullshit, because you know what? Mr. Trump wouldn't support somebody that's that ignorant. I mean, come on. I mean, I know Donald doesn't say the most perfect of perfect things, but he has class. He has class to understand that, you know what, you don't put down a person that comes from Haiti, that actually went to the Stenson Law School, who actually was like, did something with his life, that you don't like demean somebody like that, you know, like really, you're a trash guy, and like really, what did you do for this fucking county that was so great, Nick? Why don't we talk about what you did instead of what the other guy you think he is, okay? Or what you're trying to imply that he is, because you know what, it's really pissing me off. I'm very pissed off about it. And you know what, I'm getting this off my chest because you know what, you really fired up the Boricua. That's it.